Hey nerds! It's Geeks of Cascadia. Geeks of Cascadia. Geeks of Cascadia. Exclusive tabletop game podcast for the Pacific Northwest. All levels of gamers. Analog gaming. Tabletop news. Dungeons and Dragons and magic. Stupid, mindless banter.
There will definitely be some that's probably our best.
That's
our best feature.
Hey geeks! It's episode 75, and I'm Blue Samurai, and I'm with.
Wow, you are very enthusiastic. I am Rebeculous, and I am with.
And I am still Paul.
Again, very enthusiastic.
Yes. Well, that's our job. So you got to be enthusiastic on this show. Welcome to Geeks of Cascadia. It's episode 75. And today
that is crazy.
Are you sure it's 75?
Yep.
It is 75. And we are
I have a question for you.
Michael Ott today.
Okay. Michael Ott. Good guy.
We apologize. We should be doing more of these, but life stuff gets in the way.
I'm so busy.
Yes. And
I have a question, please, Blue Samurai,
yes.
sir.
Yes.
How many episodes has Rebeculous been in? Do you know? Because I'm not in all 75.
I don't. You'll have to count it.
I mean, you don't have that information.
Sorry.
We'll have to
Wow.
go back. And
You
listen
care
to
that
it.
much?
I don't actually. And I do want to put a huge apology out to Michael Ott, because I know we recorded this back in
Months ago?
October.
Yeah.
October. Yeah.
Yeah.
October.
5 months
He
ago.
hates us. He hates us.
But things happen, and life. Again,
Yeah.
life. Yeah. But we're really happy to have your interview, though.
Yeah.
And Rebeculous found Michael Ott at the convention at Dragonflight. Rebeculous, how did you run across Michael?
I was walking the game floor, and his games just look really cool. And I tend to shimmy on up to tables where the games are. They draw one's attention in, and they all looked very different. He had 2 or 3 of his games spread out on his table, and I just wanted to play with him. And then he started talking to me because I was playing with the games on his table. That's how that works.
Cool.
It's cool.
So
Yeah, and I bought one.
Which game did you play the most?
He had the one. I forgot the name of it actually, because now it's months later. But I bought
it.
I bought Hexanos. That's not the one you taught me how to play.
You didn't do Bricks and Brutes, huh?
Bricks and Brutes. Thank you. No, I didn't do that because it's better with more than 2 players.
Okay.
And I look for things that I can play with my wife, and we don't have any friends, so it's always just us 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Bricks and Brutes was actually looked like the most fun of his games. I don't know, they all look fun. They're all fun and all kind of cool and different. So
yeah, he's well, he'll tell you. Listen to the interview, but he'll tell you all about himself. But let's get in the game news or con news. So Paul, what do we got?
Well, again, there's less going on than there is normally.
Still, Paul got a haircut. Can I just point out?
I finally got a haircut.
Audience.
My
Looking very styling, buddy. Very
hairstylist moved to North Carolina.
Good shape.
It took me about 8 to 10 weeks to get a haircut. I went to downtown Everett. Armstrong Barber.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
They're great.
Did you get a shave and a hot towel and all that?
I got my neck shaved. So that was nice.
Wow. I haven't done that in a while.
You should get your neck shaved. Yes.
I'm gonna.
I liked it a lot. Great.
It's on my to-do list.
Playtest Northwest, they've even through the pandemic, they never stopped doing stuff, but they have some events coming up on March 27th, which is coming up very soon. They're going to be at Games Heaven in Linwood, and on April 5th they're going to be at Games Plus in Lake Stevens. I don't know if anyone goes there, if that's their home game store, and doing some play testing, so that'll be cool. If you want to check out their website, it's playtestnorthwest.com, and you can sign up for their events on Meetup, which is totally cool. Also coming up, we've got Wagon Con in the Dalles, Oregon.
Wagon Con?
Wagon Con.
Like station wagon Or covered
It's
wagon,
more like covered wagon, I think, because it's like
Volkswagen.
it's more like Oregon Trail. You died of dysentery.com.
What if you don't have a covered wagon? Can you just
You can just
buy
drive
one
your
there?
Subaru
Okay.
down there, your Forester, and
Okay.
park it. Hopefully, it's going to be a forest green.
I have a truck that's kind of
I
wagon-like.
guess you could drive your truck, but you have to put a wagon thing on the back. At
Okay.
any rate, it's May 6th, 7th, and 8th in the Dalles in Oregon. They don't give you a more specific address
You just look for all the
on their
wagons.
website just to make it more challenging.
Look for the circles of
You're actually
wagons.
doing this Lewis and Clark thing where you're looking for this game convention. I honestly could not find the address or the hotel information on their website, but go to wagoncon.com and you can send them an email. It looks like it's fun. It's a small, it's like a 300 person, 400 person convention usually. It looks super fun.
You should go. It's only Oregon.
Well,
Let's go. Let's do it.
I was actually thinking about
I mean,
it.
it's a couple months from now.
I was actually thinking about it.
We might be the only ones there. It'll be great.
Yeah, maybe part of the fun. It's like the was it The Greatest Race, that thing they have on CBS, where you usually have to find the convention before you can attend. You buy your ticket, then you have to find it.
It seems like work.
Other than that, Dragonflight just says up their website's up and running. They're selling badges, and that's going to be August.
Did you say? What did you say? You said
Dragonflight?
badges. Okay.
Badges.
Sorry.
They sell memberships. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Dragonflight sells memberships. They're a 501c4. They sell memberships, and that gives you voting rights. I don't know why I know this stuff, but
Yeah.
part of my job is knowing this stuff. Anyway, it's going to be in August again, which is good because October is not good for Dragonflight. It's going to be August 26th, 27th, and 28th. I'm going to be there. I was going to book my rooms. I was going to book my rooms today, but the link's not working properly, so I'm going to.
I didn't think you could book your rooms that early.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know you could book your rooms that early.
Yeah. You could if the link was working, but it's only letting you book one room night at a time for some reason. So I'm going to email Amy tomorrow. But dragonflight.org, check it out. It's going to be great. We can get back to normal stuff, hopefully.
Cool. All right.
Normal
Now
stuff.
You asked me to go to ETX or something like that.
ETX, yeah, that's yeah. I want to go to ETX. The Lucy Awards are happening.
Okay.
There's definitely going to be some tournaments.
When is that?
I can't tell from their website what else is going on at ETX. It's in Redmond, I believe.
We know the person that does ETX. We should get him on the show.
We should, if we could remember his name. Do you remember his name?
Don't.
Okay. It's been a while. It's been like 5 years.
I want to say Patrick. Why do I want to say
Patrick Daly?
Probably because you're good with names.
No, I'm not. I'm very bad.
Patrick is right. Patrick Day.
Haha, I was right.
Wow. See?
If he's still doing it, he may or may not be still doing it.
He is, and he was working for Uncle's Games, but no longer. But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool.
So, Lucy Awards are happening. There's going to be at least a couple tournaments going on there. I'm not sure what tournaments are.
That's a one-day convention, I believe, right?
It was when we went.
Yeah.
But that was again 5 years ago in a whole different city.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. Seems like forever.
Also happening, which you might want to consider, is OrcaCon 2023.
Ooh.
In Bellevue. And it's going to be January 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2023. You can book your room. You can get an early bird badge. Early bird badge is only $60. So get that done now. It's going to be through October 30th for that price. After that, it goes up $10.
Call them early whale badges, early orca badges, because OrcaCon, early birds, not Never mind. These are details. Never mind. Small
No one
details.
ever says early orca gets the worm.
Well, it's really
It's a
cool. It
common saying.
Looks like people are actually meeting in person, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
it looks like things are getting better. So that's a plus.
Well,
Things must be getting better. The last time we did con news, there wasn't much to say. Last several
Wasn't.
times you've done con news. This is like the fullest con news segment you've had in a
yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Well, with that, do we got some Kickstarter news, Rebecca?
Well, I tell you, I have some Kickstarter news and I have some just other news because, you know, I like to find a lot of specifics. There weren't a lot of games that I look for to review on Kickstarter. I like the quick kind of card games and whatnot. And there's a lot of RPG games and a lot of, you'll probably talk about some of those, and a lot of minis and figurines and maps and cool stuff to get on Kickstarter. But I do have one. But this one actually was on Kickstarter, but it survived and has thrived. I don't think I brought this one up before. It's an outer space board game called So You've Been Eaten. And I'm sure still Paul will have the graphics up here. Cute little guy who's in the process of being eaten. Still got his little spacesuit on. And you were basically playing the role of a deep space miner, and the other players take on the roles of the megafauna that is attempting to digest you. The miner earns points by collecting crystals, and the beast earns points by developing immune responses and by its bacteria attacking the miner. The game ends in a win for the miner if they collect all 8 different crystals, and the beast wins by digesting the miner after 4 bacteria of the same type have attacked. And that sound uplifting? It's great. Anyway, so this says pre-orders are available now, but this was written in January of this year. So perhaps this game is already out there and available. It's called So You've Been Eaten. And I can't help but say it with, like, I don't know, a Jewish accent. So you've been eaten. Yoy. Am I the only one?
Sounds more like
Not
Cockney.
even close. And
there's a comma. So you've been eaten.
With that.
That's better. That's better.
You like that second one best? Okay.
There
So
was
you've
a
been eaten.
miner and an annoyed beast in space. An
Yeah.
asymmetric 30-minute game of survival and profit for 0 to 2 interstellar miner beasts. That sounds great.
Doesn't it? I think
Yeah.
so too.
I like
All
it.
right. And then I found this other one, which very different. This is by, it's called Amending, and it's by game designer Jian Shim. Apologize if I butchered that name. Winner of the inaugural Diana Jones Emerging Designer Award. I don't know what that is, but it's an award. This person won an award for this game. It is called Amending, and it basically is about it's a game where you're sewing. You're going to sew during this game, do some needlepoint. The premise is that you have parted from an old friend, and when they call for you after many years, you decide to embark on the long journey to reunite with them. Your character travels through a quietly fantastical land guided by a deck of prompt cards, and the game is played by embroidering a map documenting your way. The rule book is enchanting and succinctly written, providing players with enough information to scaffold their experience, but leaving plenty of room for them to create a story wholly their own. And at the end, you have your little unique keepsake crafted by your own hand. I think that's kind of cool.
Cool.
Amending. Okay. So we have also kind of caught my eye, but there wasn't much description on this in this particular article. It's called Under Hollow Hills. Has anyone heard of that? No? Really
No.
nifty, really nice looking, haunting illustrations. Pretty cool. From Jade Dragon, creative director and head of publishing at Possum Creek Games and creator of Wander Home, Blue Samurai. I don't know if you've heard of Wander Home. You've usually heard of lots and lots of things. So this game, the person who is writing this review says, every time they play it, Under Hollow Hills teaches me something new. It's going to get deep, you guys, so please have some reverence.
Okay.
One day it is about summer and winter, how I am when I am warm and how I am when my heart grows cold, how my gender changes with the seasons. Another session teaches me vulnerability, how the nightmare horse in all his power looks so gentle and tender in my hands when he asks for me to hold him. Under Hollow Hills is a game about how we treat each other when times are good and how we treat each other when times are bad. Between its gorgeous prose, fascinating, imaginative characters, countless treasures, and natural flowing play style, Under Hollow Hills is the future of tabletop role-playing games, a unique and impossible treasure. So I don't really know how to play it,
Yeah,
but
I imagine there's instructions.
what?
Maybe.
No. Anyway, I thought that was really nifty and different, and it caught my eye. So, and then this last one is a Kickstarter. This game is simply called Insanity by this young man by the name of Tyler King out of Salt Lake City, Utah. And looks like there's still 19 days to go as of this day today, whatever day this is. I don't even need to read these instructions. There's a deck of 52 cards. You pick up a card and you do the thing in the card. If you don't do it, you're out.
Okay,
do
so it's like
Get to move on.
you do 4 of spades.
Well, there's directions on the card.
Okay.
Not, but good question. Good question still, Paul. He's going to come out with different editions, obviously, because if you're, I don't know, a certain kind of person, you're going to blow through this deck right away. So he has several editions already lined up, and it's just going to keep going. I was hoping that there would be some examples of cards. Oh, there are a few examples of cards. Show everyone your butt is one of the cards.
Okay.
Blue Samurai, would you? Oh, we all would. Okay, I would too. I would too. Except for my wife. I don't know if she's seen that. Okay, never mind. Kiss the person to the right on the lips. Wait, that'd be still Paul for me. Well, I'm not sure. Wait a minute. Oh my God, you two are next to each other. You two are next to each other, aren't you? Anyways, things like that. Sing a song for 25 seconds, blah, 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 etc. Sounds fun to me.
Yeah.
We're not playing that game.
Doesn't say if they should play it like in the privacy of your own home, or I mean, there's the bare butt thing, but you could be in public and do that too, right? Right? You could do that, right? I mean, I do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I played a game.
Anyway, that's
my first bachelor party.
Your first bachelor party. Oh,
First bachelor party. I had to kiss from my friend Rick.
Blue Samurai, were you at Still Paul's first bachelor party?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
So I'm going to give my game report.
Whoa.
So we've got.
Whoa.
Now you're going to love this. It's about
listeners.
Coffee. It's about coffee and it's about D&D. It's up on Kickstarter. Xana's Guide to Magic Coffee RPG Supplement up on Kickstarter. It's got, as of today, it's
Still
21
Paul.
days to go.
Tell
but
me.
probably more. I mean, going out and adventuring across the land is a thing you can do, or you and your party mates can settle down and open up a little coffee shop. Now, we, in our D&D campaigns, we'd love to open up our own businesses. We do that a lot.
With very little. We don't even need anything except.
You love to open up your own businesses.
I love to open up the little businesses.
Then the two of you love
you like our inn.
And you don't need to be a part of it, Mr.
Troll Skull Manor in one of our D&D games. But anyway, let me go on. Did you ever wonder what kind of adventuring life goes beyond the normal hustle and bustle of killing dragons?
Nah.
Some people just want a satisfying career of owning their own coffee house and supporting their local community. Sure, it may not pay as well, but everyone agrees that that lifestyle is way more healthy. So, what this game,
but then you got to help customers.
Kickstarter. It's a supplement to Dungeons and Dragons 5e. So it's got some spells in it. It's got rules on how to open up your own coffee shop. So check it out. Kind of weird.
I'm sorry, Blue Samurai. Are you using a condenser mic?
What? No.
Because you sound a little bit low.
Okay.
So be louder.
Okay. I'll be louder.
Maybe get closer.
Yeah, I should be closer.
Oh no, back, farther back.
Anyway, next is Piracle Gathering Darkness RPG on Kickstarter. This thing is already funded. It's another RPG. Piracle Gathering Darkness is an app-driven tabletop role-playing game for 1 to 4 players. It combines exciting dice-based combat with a groundbreaking companion app that takes the place of the game master. Player creates heroes using classless hero creation system, then explore the dangers and mysteries of Piracle via Lore Master, the game app companion.
Oh, so there is no baking. There's no actual
There's
baking.
no baking. I don't know why I said that. Next
Because you're
is-
hungry.
Could be. Tamashii, Chronicles of the Ascend board game up on GameFound. Post-apocalyptical Japan. The world is now ruled by all-powerful AI. How will you fit in this world? I don't know. That's what you need to figure out in Tamashii, Chronicles of Ascend, a new adventure board game up on GameFound. So check that out. Next up, I am looking here because everyone loves 40K. So Tyrannid monsters getting more monstrous. Tyranids, if you know what that is, it's little bug monsters. Little bug monsters.
Ugh,
Yes.
that
Tyranids
doesn't
have
sound
some
good.
truly horrific members of their hive, and they're only getting more nasty with their new codex that's coming out soon. We get a look on how a few of them are changing in this preview. You're gonna need to get bigger cans of Raid. Ooh, that's
I
kind
don't
of
like games with bugs.
Anyway, it's from Warhammer. Check it out. Everybody loves it. And then lastly, because we all love Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings started it all. Fantasy Flight is bringing back some of the older sets from the Lord of the Rings LCG. The next one is Angmar Awaken. So there are some new cards still there. For those who already have the set, these new cards will be available as print and play from Fantasy Flight website. Check that out. And of course, I've got to talk about this because you all are big D&D fans. Is Mordenkainen presents Monsters of the Multiverse.
Oh,
Yes, you can get that in D&D Beyond. It'll be out May the 17th. However, I think you can get it now at bookstores as a bundle. But that's a little pricey. But if you want to wait a little bit, May 17th, then you can get.
so I would have to buy books I already have to get the bundle.
Yeah, kind of, but they're all updated though.
Oh, updated books that I already
Yay! No, you should just wait.
Maybe
till
they have
book
that
comes out.
Eric Okra movement thing
Maybe
in
they
there
have the
somewhere.
Aarakocra movement that I hate
Maybe.
so much.
Maybe, but that's all I have.
I
Do
have
y'all
one
want to
thing.
listen to Michael Ott?
Nope, I got one game I want to talk about.
Oh, wow,
From
this is
Chaosium
unprecedented.
Incorporated.
Do you have COVID?
It's creepy, it's kooky, and it's filled with plenty of hairy, squeaking horrors to fill the time. And that's a review from Tabletop Gaming Magazine. It's Call of Cthulhu Scritch Scratch by our friend Lynn Hardy and friends.
Woo!
So if you go to
Blue Samurai.
chaosium.com Scritch Scratch, you can, this is $10. And that's for the paper version. And what terror lurks within the gloomy woodlands surrounding a sleepy English village? Scritch Scratch is just $9.99 US. Comes with 6 pre-gen characters, so you can get going right away.
Why
Order
is the
direct.
Mona Lisa hovering over Blue Samurai?
I don't know what he's doing. Yeah. Order direct and you get the PDF included within the price too. So check out Scritch Scratch from Chaosium.
It's kind of fun to say Scritch Scratch. Sorry I interrupted you, but when Blue Samurai stepped away, the Mona Lisa appeared. And it's kind of freaking me out. Dude, what's going on?
I don't
I
know.
have
I think
acid
this is
reflux
going to work,
problem.
but I don't know.
Should we talk to Michael Ott?
I finally found it. So
Nice. Well, we did talk to Michael Ott, and let's share our talk with the rest of the
Let's do that
world,
now.
shall we?
all right.
Boom.
Hey geeks! Guess who we're with? We're with Michael Ott. Michael, thank you for coming on our show. Appreciate it. We had Rebeculus here go out and try to find really cool, awesome game designers.
Did a great job.
Thank
She
you.
did, though she did disappear and not tell us for several hours. We're wondering where the hell were you? But
Playing games, man.
yes, you were playing what bricks? What was it?
Bricks and Brutes.
Bricks and Brutes, yeah. Which Michael, that is your game.
Yes, indeed.
So, Michael, tell us about the game that you're doing. Actually, I found out doing a little cyber stalking that you actually have developed, I think, 3 games in total. Is that
3 games that
correct?
have been published. Yes,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
correct.
yeah. Talk to us about this game.
So Bricks and Brutes is basically a castle wall building game, basically 8 and up. But I do have adults who really enjoy it. Mostly, I had one lady who was a Kickstarter backer who's really appreciated the game because she could drink wine, play with their kids, and still have a chance of winning.
Yes.
So it's basically everyone gets a unique castle wall plan, and the first person to build their wall to the plan they have in front of them at that time wins the game. And you have masons that move bricks, and you have brutes that protect the masons from the dragon, and you have a queen who changes her mind as to how the castle should look, and so occasionally you'll have to build to a completely new wall plan.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and I noticed that you also have two other games, Draw and Swipe and Hexanose. Is that correct?
That is correct. Hexanose is as simple as you can imagine. It is literally six-sided dominoes. It is, I make it out of laser etched acrylic that I etched myself. And Draw and Swipe is a triangular tile-based game where you are competing to complete sets of 4 tiles to complete a frame and then move to the center. And to do that, you either draw blind 2 tiles from the tile pile, or you can swipe from your opponent.
And so, in your Bricks and Brutes that you're doing right now, is it you've already done the Kickstarter? Is that all passed now? Or you
Oh
just-
yes, all three
Okay.
of these have been kickstarted and are out.
Great. And we talked to a lot of game designers, and God bless them, because they are working their butts off. And listeners out there, I know many of you listen to us because maybe you want to be a game designer, or you are a game designer. You're into this nerdy mechanical stuff. Now we do games. Michael, I'm sure this is not your own. Like, you're not a full-time game designer, right? You get,
Oh, certainly not. There's no way I could survive on game design. As much as I'd love to do that, to be the next Klaus Tuber and all the variations of Settlers. No, I'm originally an engineer and then moved into project management. And I've been tinkering with game set rules since my early teens, making like house rules for games to tighten them up, make things cleaner, and then I've been doing my own games for decades. And it wasn't until COVID hit and my contract job ended. It's like, if I'm going to do it, I may as well. And that's when I kickstarted Bricks and Brutes back in March of 2020.
A lot of things changed.
Yes.
A lot of people found new opportunities.
Yes.
And so I guess good things happened. So that's a plus.
Yeah, that is true. Yes.
Yes, and I've known, it's funny you said engineer, because I was looking at your games, and before you even said you were an engineer, I was thinking to myself, he must be an engineer, because these are space.
Yes, there are a lot of puzzle and three-dimensional. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I was going to ask you if you have games that are very do you develop role-playing games, or is this kind of thing? Which this is what I love.
Seems
These
to be your
puzzles and
niche.
three-dimensional
Yeah.
stuff is just terrific. It's like my favorite kind of game.
I actually have a whole variety. The ones I kickstarted first were the ones that I think had the most appeal. I've got one coming down the line, Ziggurat, which I'm actually playtesting here at Dragonflight 41. And that is you're searching an ancient Mayan temple for treasure, avoiding rats, snakes, spiders, the other archaeologists. Meanwhile, the outside of the Mayan temple, the Ziggurat, is slowly being, the entrances are slowly being filled with sand. And so you have to get as much treasure out before all 4 entrances are sanded in. Later down the road, I've got Power Baron, which is basically you're building your own power network with solar plants, coal plants, nuclear plants, transmission lines. You're doing monopoly pricing. You're trying to gouge the other players, so that's very much not
That's totally different.
Right.
totally
Yeah,
different.
Wow,
yeah.
I like that. Jeez.
And then I've got Backyard Battle, which is. Does anybody remember Jarts before they got outlawed?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely
all right.
remember Jarts.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yes.
that's a game we play outside where you have beanbags and you have tanks and mobile artillery, and you're moving your tanks and mobile artillery and tossing your beanbags at the other players' tanks and mobile artillery. And that's
not sharp, pointy missiles?
no,
Just
unfortunately
beanbags?
not. No,
Okay.
just beanbags. That's correct.
I guess
Yeah.
that seems a little safer.
And so I have, and that for me that's sort of a disadvantage, because the people who backed Bricks and Brutes, a lot of them came back and backed Hexanose and then Draw or Swipe, because they're all sort of in the same genre. But when I try to kickstart Ziggurat or Power Baron or Backyard Battle, that original core of people may not be at all interested in a game where you're building out transmission lines and power plants. And so, since I'm not niche in, not all my games are in the same niche, then I have to, try to broaden my audience as much as possible.
Right. So talk to us about how you do your game design, how you develop them start to finish. Maybe you walk through one of the 3 that are out there right now. And people think that it's quick. It's not. It takes a lot of time. Or maybe you're the exception to that. But every game designer we talked to, some of them took like years to get this going.
Well, actually, in my case, since I was doing it at what I would call extremely part-time, it has taken, I look back at, for example, Bricks and Brutes version 0.0. The first recorded instance of that was back in 2009. And it sort of ebbs and flows as, my work life or my personal life changes, or, I sort of have other things that I need to focus on. But just simply over time, they get pulled out, they get played with, they get tinkered with, and then there's a spurt of activity, and then it lays fallow for a while. It's only recently, especially since COVID, that I've had a lot more time on my hands to actually focus on bringing many of the games that have not yet been published to a cleaner and also a bigger audience. And that actually, a downside of COVID for me has been it's much harder to get playtesters together, other than families that I know. And so the playtesting has really slowed down a lot, and that's really, difficult. Because once you've playtested it, you have a very different relationship with the rule set and the gaming, and so it's hard to find new people, which is one of the reasons I'm very glad I'm here. Is I'm play testing Ziggurat with a lot of total strangers and getting a lot of really good feedback that I just wouldn't get from people who've played it 5 times already.
I heard from people that game designers have play testing. It's a key moment for the game, and were there rules that you liked that you were kind of disappointed that the feedback was, oh man, Michael, this sucks.
Oh yes,
we can't figure it out.
Yep.
And how did you take that? You just kind of rolled with it?
You have to roll with it, because as much as you're invested in it, as much as for example, Ziggurat, the original, the very first recorded instance of the rule set has archaeologists, runners, and brutes. And the brutes, defended the archaeologists and the runners from the other players, archaeologists, runners, and brutes. And it just was way too complicated. And so a lot of what I have found is that my initial inspiration is way overly complex. And so I have to dial it back so it's actually, playable for the target audience.
You're not the first developer to say that. That seems to be what they say, and yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're a dumb people in general. We need things to be simplified.
Yeah, Rebecca, how'd you like the game? I mean, you played it for a while. So.
I didn't actually play it for a while, but I listened avidly to Michael explaining it to me, and I was I was gonna get it. Then I saw, it seems like it's sort of for younger people, and I felt a little sheepish about wanting to purchase it. But I was just asking how Bricks and Brutes was for 2 players as we were walking down the hall here, and it's fine, but it's a little better with more than 2. So I think I'm gonna pick up a bag of Hexanos or a box.
A bag, yes.
A bag
Yeah.
before I leave today, because that is just my speed. Portable, taking it to the local tavern, setting it up, playing with my.
Oh, that would be great.
So.
Please do.
So Michael, when you had to scale back because the complexity of the game, did you think of, well, maybe this is an expansion? I could maybe expand on this later, or did you just decide, you know what, I'm just gonna make it simple and go on to the next thing?
It's it was Power Baron, which is the power plant and transmission line domination of the island. That is the one that I took all the over complex parts and kind of put in back pocket for an expansion, very much so. There's a lot of fun things you can do with power plants and regulations that come up, and wind power becomes profitable. The local community says, no coal plants here, so you have to shut down your coal plant. A lot of stuff is back pocket waiting for the an expansion pack.
Ah, okay. Well, so you went through different iterations. You did play testing. Talk to us how we talked to different game designers and how they come up with their prototypes. Some of them make them really fancy right off the bat, which tends to be the bad decision, we found out.
You can always fix it.
You can always fix it, but you don't want to make it too fancy because it costs money sometimes. But how did you go about that?
So Bricks and Brutes for years was originally I just used Legos because they're bricks. How more complicated could be for the Ziggurat board, I built it out of just MDF plasterwood, and used little Lego minifigures for the archaeologists and the runners. Because my playtesters expect it, the first iterations are pieces of basically 11 by 17 pieces of paper with Lego parts that represent the different components. However, coming out here, especially for Dragonflight, I wanted especially Ziggurat to look a lot more polished, and so for those, I actually did make an extremely small run of 4 sets of the playing cards, because you don't want someone who's playtesting to say these are business cards that are impossible to shuffle and they don't stack well. You don't want that to detract from their experience. You want them to actually have a good tactile experience, but not spend hundreds of dollars to make it perfect, when full well you'll get feedback that will make you go back and redo the card deck. For example, I have some new cards that some of the playtesters suggested that I thought were very creative.
So one of the things that game designers talk about, the expense and the difficulty, is the art or the graphics involved. Did you have any challenges with that, or how did you get that done?
So for Bricks and Brutes and Hexanos and Drawer Swipe,
Tons of art required for those, really.
Exactly.
Which is genius.
good.
Yeah,
Good.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
Ziggurat looks like it could be pretty.
Yes, actually, that is the first. Ziggurat is the first one that I've actually reached out to an actual company that does artwork for games, and so we chatted about this earlier in this year, and that's going to be pretty expensive. But everything else I've done so far has been, with Corel Draw, I've made my logos from the 3 games that are already out there. But Ziggurat is going to be in a box, and it's going to have to look pretty.
Right. Well, that's smart of you to do the first 3 where you didn't have to kind of go out and pay for art, because that can get really expensive. We talked to a game designer who is an artist, so she
Nice.
cut out a lot of her expenses. So you went through the process, you developed the rules, you game tested, you had the prototype that you like, you got the art. How did you go about getting the company to produce the actual game itself, the pieces, the box? How did you go through that process?
Oh, that was easy. I'm totally self-published. Yeah,
Wow, okay.
I've got my miter saw to cut the wood. I've got my laser to etch the acrylic and cut the tiles.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So you didn't go through a Chinese company that
With the exception of the formal cards, the playing cards,
Uh-huh.
yes, I went through a company called, shout out, makeplayingcards.com.
Oh, wow, okay. Wow.
And they've done really well for me.
Oh, good,
But
good.
yeah, Bricks and Brutes needs the playing cards, and obviously Ziggurat does as well.
Right.
But pretty much everything else. And another shout out, Rollco Games. I buy my little pawns and from them, and then I laser the faces onto the pawns for the Masons and the Brutes for Bricks and Brutes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you were going through the process here. You got everything complete. So what was the deciding point for you to go, okay, I'm gonna do the Kickstarter route, or I'm gonna try to go to a publisher and get this done. Obviously, you decided to do it on your own. So what was that What was that decision making? How did you reach that decision?
I never really, first off, I never expected to be able to quit my day job and, put food on the table with my games. And so for me, it's just the sheer enjoyment of knowing there are people, total strangers to me, out there playing something that I created.
And there's no desperation. 'cause
Exactly,
That's good.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
life and money and
Exactly,
whatnot.
exactly. And I've got, the Kickstarters were wonderful. I got, people from almost every continent except Africa and Antarctica. I mean, my
Wow.
games are all over the world,
Nice.
and just
What is wrong
it-
with you, Antarctica?
it blows my mind.
Michael's a good man. Play his game.
I need to find somebody who's on a research
There you go.
station down there and send them a kit.
Prime people to play such games.
Exactly.
So talk to us about your Kickstarter process and how you came about that. Sometimes that can be stressful. And what was the time length you picked and why? And did you have friends help you out? Because I know sometimes you got to do a video and all
how
that.
How fast you get funded?
Yeah.
I like
Let's.
seeing projects get funded.
Oh, yeah.
fast like that.
Yeah, for the very first one, it was literally Bricks and Brutes. It was me standing in front of a camera, talking straight to the camera. I had a voiceover when the sort of showed how the game was played. I had a voiceover of my son and my daughter, doing a question and answer, which was pretty funny.
Like, Dad, do I have to do this?
Oh, and that part was not in the audio for the Kickstarter, actually.
That's good.
But I set a reasonable target because I was only making a few hundred kits, and so I wasn't looking for a $50,000 Kickstarter to make beautiful kits because I'm making all the parts myself.
Right.
So I'm free basically. And the very first Kickstarter, Bricks and Brutes, I had a lot of family and friends who really pitched in, and then lo and behold, they actually really enjoyed the game, and so they told their friends, and so on and so forth. So Bricks and Brutes was funded about halfway through.
Oh, wow. Good.
Hexanos was actually faster, but Draw or Swipe, because it's a harder game to explain, especially through a Kickstarter video, and it seems pretty dry until you actually play it. And that one was a little nail bitey to the end.
So what was your goal on the Bricks and Brutes? And
4,800.
and what did you end up with?
I think I topped out at 5,300.
Oh,
yeah.
good. That's awesome. But then here's the hard part, right? It's after you do that, then you got to go out and schlep this thing at different cons.
Oh.
But I mean, I guess you get to meet new people and
Mhm.
go on podcasts like ours. So, what other cons have you been going to
So
push this?
since I started this all up, with the Kickstarter back in March of 2020, this is the first con that I have gone to because all the ones in California, in where I live in California, were basically shut down in 2020. So I am blessed in where I live is that there is a con within about 3-hour driving distance every month of the year.
Oh, wow.
And so,
Jeez, okay.
yeah, some big ones and some small ones, but I'm really looking forward to it. And to be perfectly honest, I put my toe in the water with Dragonflight because the woman who runs Dragonflight, Amy, she was a Kickstarter backer for all 3 of my games, and about 2 months ago she sent me an email saying, "Hey, by the way, I run this con. Would you want to come up to Seattle?
that's
Because
cool.
I'm down for
Yeah. That's great. We're gonna be interviewing her next.
Oh, good.
Are you? By the way, speaking of cons, because
Yeah,
we have a
you
con.
should.
uh,
You like
you
it up
go to
here, right?
OrcaCon? Is there OrcaCon
In just a
in your
few
future?
short months, you should hop a plane right back here.
That's right.
There's a nifty little thing. What do we call it?
Orcacon?
That's what we call
OrcaCon.
it.
Shout out.
It is usually it's unusually quiet this year at Dragonflight because of the big
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
But it is usually much more hopping. So
Yeah.
hopefully that will just continue to grow.
Yeah, and Michael, what's your long-term goal here? Get picked up by some publisher, or you become your own giant game company?
I
Ott Incorporated or something like that,
Awesome.
or Ott Games.
I really don't. I don't have big ambitions. I'm satisfied. Well, let me back up. I would love for my games to get out to more and more people, and the word of mouth, and people play it. And especially with Hexanos, I've gotten a lot of repeat customers from, oh, I played it with my friend the other day, or I actually had a woman who ordered 3 kits, and I sent them down to Los Angeles, and I just said, hey, just out of curiosity, how did you find out about this? And her response is, well, my boss has a son-in-law in England.
Oh,
Like,
wow,
the
cool.
boss is in England, and so
That's cool.
he had played Hexanos with his son, and he didn't want to pay international shipping, and so when his secretary was in Los Angeles, he said, hey, can you buy 3 kits and then bring them home with you when you come back? So she was importing my games to England, which
Oh,
cracks me up.
I bet that's more satisfying to hear that people liked your games than the actual sale of the game, right? I mean, that must make you feel good. When
Oh, it's
someone's
yeah,
like,
it's
"Hey."
yeah, it's awesome. And again, since I'm not counting on this to, pay the rent, there's just not that desperation.
That's some good solid Zen attitude there. in
Yeah.
your game.
Yeah,
Healthy.
It's nice doing things for the joy of doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have it's been great for us because we've been interviewing these game designers that they're not getting rich off this. Just you're not going to get rich off this, okay?
No.
But they just enjoy it. Every single one of them have jobs. David Gerard's a good friend of ours, Junk Spirit Games. He's made several games, very successful games. Yet, he works in an insurance company or something like that.
Right,
And so,
right.
because bottom line, as you know, Michael, because you got kids, you got to feed them, right? Unfortunately, that's what you got to do,
You
right?
have
And then
to.
you got
Do
to
you have
you
to?
got to
You
pay
do.
for a mortgage.
All
So you got to do that, and it's so nice that you're doing this. But I also know it's really hard because, Rebecca and still Paul and I, we see you guys, we see you guys, and we play your games, we enjoy it, but we also know that, man, you're working hard. You're going to different cons. You're dragging your kids.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a total introvert, and so this is really outside of my comfort zone, and just it's been a stressful couple of days.
Well, I'm sorry about that. You seem to be handling it very well,
Yeah.
from what I see. And thanks for talking to us. I know
Yeah.
you have to get back to your table. I want to say this right. Is it Nanolocity?
You nailed it.
Games.
Yep.
Bam.
All right.
Michael Ott, Nanolocity Games.
All right, and that's a website that people can go to, I assume. Or...
Absolutely.
Nanolocitygames.com. Nanolocity, like
Velocity without.
like velocity.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You got any Twitters or Facebooks or something like that?
I do have I have a Facebook page. My wife, shout out to my wife. She keeps nudging me to keep posting, so I've been posting to
Good.
my
You should be
Dragonflight.
taking a picture of this.
And yes, I do have a Twitter as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And you got so your fans out there expecting Ziggurat, and what was the other thing you said?
Power Baron.
Power Baron. Okay,
Coming
look
up.
out-
Yep.
Look out for that. Look out for that. Any future Kickstarter just before we?
Oh,
So-
the Ziggurat is going to be. It will also be kickstarted. Yeah,
Oh, do you know when?
probably very early 2022.
Okay.
I have to make some more tweaks based on my feedback from
Okay.
Dragonflight.
Because we do these interviews, but we space them out when we release them, so we want to make sure we get it before
Oh,
the Kickstarter, not after, because that's
Yep.
really embarrassing when it's after. It doesn't quite work out. Cool. Well, Michael, is there anything else?
no,
you
I
wanna
I
tell
really
people?
appreciate this, and it was an unexpected ask from Rebecca. I appreciate that.
Great. Is it your first podcast you were on for this?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, we did it again.
Yes. Please remember us, because people get
Our,
famous.
our
and they forget
37
us.
listeners are just going to be
I
so
know.
excited.
I know. All right, Michael. Thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you.
on the
Thanks,
show.
Michael.
And that is Michael Ott. I love that he makes all his pieces and stuff. Is that not awesomely cool? He is self-contained, man. That's great.
He came all the way up from California to see us, just us.
Just us.
He wanted to go talk. He wanted to be on Geeks of Cascadia because we're so popular.
He wanted to be in the cold back hallway at the Bellevue Hilton at Dragonflight.
Nah, it wasn't that
Yes.
cold. That wasn't that cold. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
great. I was very impressed. Very impressed with him.
Now, why can't we come up with great ideas?
Why can't we?
We do. We just don't do anything about it.
That's true. We're
That
pretty
is the
lazy.
thing.
We are.
I
pretty
don't know. I
lazy.
think you shouldn't even have given us credit for the great ideas part. I don't know that we do. Do we? This podcast was a great idea.
Well, that's his idea.
Well, it's a great
Well,
idea.
it's our idea.
If it's
now.
his, it's ours. That's right. No, that was
So,
cool. That was fun. So,
what else do we got going on, folks? I think that's about it.
Well, we're going to review a D&D adventure.
Yes, against the Giants. I hope.
I
that-
think it's There Must Be Giants.
No,
might-
it's the original
might be.
module. And we've got.
Sorry, don't edit that out.
mm,
It's one of my better ones.
We also got a possible travel show that we're
That's
thinking
right.
about doing.
Oh, I hope we do that.
Just
That's
you
gonna
got,
be great.
but you two have got to do some homework. You
We
got to
got
go
some
through the Google
homework.
Doc. I've got links for you to check it out. So
That's right.
yes.
That's it. That's all you're gonna tell. I guess that's all.
That's
we
all
can
I'm gonna say.
Is
Well,
that in
so-
Drive?
Yes.
Okay.
So check it
Don't
out. It'll be fun.
tell everyone where it is.
I'm
They're
not
gonna
gonna say
find
that.
it.
Here's the password for Drive.
Yes.
No, that's cool. That'd be cool if
Yes.
this works out. Be a
And
fun
hopefully we'll get
podcast.
Lynn Hardy on the show because Paul's going to try to get that. Sounds like.
Yeah, it's there's the whole time zone thing.
Yes.
You
So
could
I'm
just
not-
have like her face up here, and I could fill in on talking her accent.
nah,
and
maybe we-
could
maybe
just
we
do
won't
the
do that so
interview
much.
that way.
Yeah,
No?
that's-
No,
I'll try to reach out to Patrick Day
Mm.
again. We tried actually before, it just didn't work out. The timing was poopy.
it was probably a bad day for him.
He was going through some
Day.
stuff, you know.
Day.
The uncles was shutting down, or at least where he was at. So,
yeah.
but anyway, things are getting back together. People are seeing each other.
Yeah,
Conventions
we're
are
playing D&D
happening.
in person on Fridays, which is nice. I like
We
that.
are. When are we going to go back to around the table? Not
I
that I
would
don't
like to
love
do
going to
that.
your guys' house because I
I
do,
would like
because
to
there's
do that.
animals there. But there's animals that are around the table too.
My wife is not an animal.
I guess
Wasn't
we just
referring to
gotta-
her, but okay.
I guess we just got to call them and say, "Hey, can we come back?"
Yeah.
He'll be like,
once,
who,
once
who are
everyone
you?
feels safe,
again?"
He'll say, "No, not you."
Yeah.
not you guys.
Yeah.
They've probably been open for a long time now, and they just didn't want us to. They didn't
And,
want us to
and
come back.
Fridays is their magic night, I think.
Yeah, we just take up table space, but I think we spend a lot of money there. I think they'd like to have us back.
I think
think
that
we
they
do.
probably would.
Plus,
Yeah.
we're just a group of genial, lovely
Mhm.
personalities.
That's true.
How do you not want us in your gaming?
That's
pub?
right. And if you want us to show up at your game store, you can reach out to us at geeksofcascadia@gmail.com or Facebook, Geeks of Cascadia, or Twitter, Geeks of Cascadia.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We're not on the gram. We're not on.
We're on Instagram. We never post
We're on
anything.
Instagram.
Oh, okay.
You want to take a picture of yourself and
I don't know how to.
Because
do
we
that.
do have fans out there from other parts of the United States, the globe. If
Go
you're from
Canada!
another- if you're
Woo!
from another country
Sorry.
or another state, you're going to have to probably pay for airfare and all that. We're very popular. You should definitely do that.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
Did you
looked
say
at our
we were
numbers
very
recently
popular?
for
What?
where
Yeah.
we're popular?
Yes. Top locations is San Francisco,
Neat.
Frankfurt.
Ah.
Yeah.
Da. No.
Yeah.
That's
That's for this week.
we.
So, yeah.
Someone from Siberia listened to us once or
No.
something.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm looking at it right now.
Mm.
Nope.
Is that?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We had 20. We had one from Moscow. Ooh.
Hey,
what do you know?
Moscow.
What do you
Assume you're
know?
the good people from Moscow.
A
Yes,
lot of people
There's a
on the west,
lot of good people in Russia.
There
are a
Believe
lot of
good
me, a
people in
lot of good people.
just not Putin.
Are-
And we got
yes.
a lot of a lot of people from the West Coast listen to us. So anyway,
Russia and the
there
West
you
Coast. That's our
go.
fans.
I think that's it for our show. Do we have anything else before we sign off?
That was
I
a good
think we're
show.
Good.
That was a good show.
I don't know. Shoot, we're on
And-
Zoom. I can't hug you during your sign out line.
And to all of our listeners and subscribers out there,
Hug
make
my
sure you
cat.
subscribe, by the way. But
gotta
we're sorry
subscribe.
we're not putting more of these out. A lot of life things happened.
Yeah.
You know, a little
family-
teardrop or two would be very convincing right now,
yes,
Blue
family
Samurai.
stuff. Yeah.
You can get
but
that teardrop going.
It's
down?
tough. It's tough. Yeah. Tough. All right. Anyway,
Right.
with that, embrace the nerd. And I hope you make that saving throw.